Welcome to Jenny's Food Network. Now, the last part we put in will be the seasoning and the eggs. So right now it's boiling. It's cooking the ground turkey meat, the one in chunks that I had put in. And as you can see, they cook very fast. It's like less than 5 minutes. It's already cooked so fast. The ground turkey meat, which is wonderful. And while that is still boiling slowly, now I have my eggs. I can go ahead and this is like I said, this is a 7-quart soup pot, okay? You can do small portion pans. Here's like a 3-quart. This is a 7-quart, okay, a bigger one. So let me show you. Let me zoom out. So here you have a 3-quart and a 7-quart. You know, this is so much bigger. So this is a bigger pot. I always cook in bigger portion because I have a big family. I have 5 children and I have a husband and myself. We eat. So I don't want to cook too many times. So I'm going to come back here. And here are 8 eggs that I'm going to use for a 7-quart pot. So the 3-quart, the smaller pot here, I normally use like about 5 eggs. But here I'm going to use 8. Okay. So to get started, and in the meantime, if I really wanted to really break up the seasoning, I'm going to go ahead and just put 4 scoops of vachetta seasoning. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to show you. This is an example of the vachetta seasoning, all-purpose seasoning. I love, this is one of my favorite seasoning. Hey, be creative. If you like some other seasoning, then go for it, okay? So this is a big refill bag, okay? You can refill them in a container or into those big jugs. It's a 4-pound 6-ounce refill bag. They come in small cans, small refill bags. They come in a big size. They also come in big, tall, rectangular, tall, like plastic containers with vachetta in it. You decide. Not all stores sells this. Only certain stores will only sell vachetta seasoning. You can order them online as well. So I like to pour them in this container here. This is a 32-ounce container. It's 1 quart. So I'm going to go ahead and use 4 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons works pretty good. You see how I didn't refill the water up too high because I'm going to add the eggs. It's going to poof up. And then at the very end, I will add more water to make it come up to here. Okay? So 4 tablespoons works well for me. Like I said, you decide as you go. If you like it saltier or less saltier, you decide. Okay? Be creative. Be confident. Remember and record down on a journal if you'd like to figure out what your recipe will be, so you can adjust it for next time to better it. If you're satisfied with it, then you keep that as your recipe. So there's 4 tablespoons, and I normally don't do measurements because I'm so used to cooking that I just drizzle some fish sauce over, and then another round of that. Okay, so what I use also is my favorite fish sauce. Like I said, in my cooking videos, I will show what I use because there may be some new viewers that don't know what I'm talking about when I just say fish sauce. There's a lot of brands out there. My favorite brand is the 3 Crab brand, and it's a 24-ounce bottle, glass bottle, okay? 24-ounce bottle, the 3 Crab brand, and it's got a little pink up here and some white down here. So a lot of different sauces, but this one is the best flavor fish sauce, my favorite. My mom has her own favorite, but I don't like that flavor at all, so this works well for me. So I'll go ahead and stir that around. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat back up high, okay? Because the eggs are going to lower the temperature of the soup. So what you want is the soup to get really hot, because as you put the egg drop soup in, it's gonna, you know, start cooking the eggs slightly, but it's gonna, you know, decrease the temperature of your soup. So make sure you have it on high and have it boiling, okay? All right, I turned it back up now. So here we go. Let's crack the eggs. All right, it's starting to boil very rapidly. I'm gonna turn it down again. Okay, we're almost done with the eggs. Okay, here you have it, 4 eggs, the very last one. I'm sorry, 8 eggs. Yeah, we're using 8 eggs for a 7-quart pot. The smaller pot, the 3-quart pot, I usually use about 4 to 5 eggs, okay? But since we're using a bigger pot, it'll be 8 eggs. Here you have it, 8 eggs. And you're gonna need a fork. So when you stir the eggs, it's just gonna be in a big, you see how the yolk is still there? You need to poke the eggs. So just, you know, poke the eggs and then stir it. Don't stir it too much, okay? Where it becomes one color. You still want 2 nice colors. You still want the orange color yellow yolk, and you still want that white yolk when it cooks. It makes your egg drop soup look a lot tastier. Okay, so don't over stir it, okay? It still has to be like that type of texture. Because when it starts to cook, you're going to see the separate white egg part, and you're going to see the orange yellow yolk, okay? That makes your soup look more colorful. Okay, so back here, we've already added the seasoning in there. So now I'm going to take the top off. I'm going to turn it up high again, because like I said, it's going to lower the temperature as I add in the cold, chilled eggs, okay? So stir it like that as you go, and then pour it in slowly. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you get a nice view of it. Okay. Alright, I'm stirring it a bit. You see how the egg's starting to cook already? How delicious. This is a very yummy soup, guys. Okay. Let's crack that one up. That yolk is still chunky. Okay, so I'm going to stir again. Have it on high. This one's just kind of chunky. Okay, so just stir that slowly. So I'm going to go ahead, pour a little more. Don't stir it too fast, okay, because you don't want them to break up like gunk. Because I want it to start boiling again, because I don't want to over stir it, because it's going to break up the eggs and make it look even more weird. Okay, it's starting to boil a little more now. Now I'm going to go ahead and add more. Because as you put it in, it starts to cook immediately. And just wait a bit. See how it's starting to boil a little bit more again? You know, cooking does take a lot of time and patience. It really does. So hang in there. And don't over stir. Remember that. That's the trick to egg drop soup. Don't over stir it. And don't ever put the eggs at the beginning, because if you do, it's going to overcook the eggs. It's going to look like curds, you know, like little chunks, you know. It's going to be really gross looking. So the eggs have to be at the very end. Okay, it's starting to boil more. So go ahead and stir a bit and add the last bit of the egg drop soup. And stir gently, just so they don't clump. And then all you have to do is just let it sit for a bit. Right now it's starting to boil more. You'll know your eggs are cooked when they're floating at the very top. So I'm going to cover it, okay? I'm gonna keep it on high right now until it starts to boil a little more evenly. And then I'm going to turn it down. And you'll see it floating to the top. I'm going to start turning it down a bit. I'm going to cook this for about, I would say, another minute and check on it, and stay tuned for the next video when we add in the tomatoes and serve it with rice and green kale. Thanks for watching.